welcome back to the Rainy Days podcast. Here I have Sam, my other roommate, who's right next to Tyler. Say hello, Sam.
Hi, nice to meet you all today. Thank you for having me today.
Of course. I do live with you, so this was really easy to arrange, just like the previous one with Tyler. I'm going to start off this podcast just as I start every other one. I'd like to get into how we met. Do you remember how we met?
I think the first actual encounter that I can remember was the llama from Spanish class.
I remember the llama.
I definitely know that I knew you before then, but I think that's the first time I attempted to
make contact.
I knew you were. I think we probably have talked before then or something in class. Nothing that I could remember, but I definitely remember the llama. That was a big part of my senior year.
We definitely went to middle school together and never said a word to each other. Because I remember you from middle school, but I don't remember us being friends or even what's that A word? There's an A word that goes
Associates?
Associate. We weren't even associates. I don't think we had any classes together.
It was just a mutual, like a nod. When you walk past each other in the hallway, it was a nod. If we had to do a group project, I knew I could partner up with you and it wouldn't be an issue. There wouldn't be any barriers.
Right. Now, in high school, we went to a vote technical school.
Correct.
Which means there's shops that people can select and specialize in, such as culinary, what was the one with hair? Cosmetology. There was HVAC. We both started in LSS, which was Legal Supportive Services, basically a cop class. You left. In short, you fucking left me.
After the first year.
Was it the first year? Were you there for a whole year?
Yes.
I felt like you were there for 2 weeks.
We started halfway through the year because we had to go through all the 1 week in each one.
Right, because you had to select. You had to go through trials.
The process.
To select one.
But I did finish because the next year, the very first day, the teacher for the HVAC, found me and was like, hey, I got all the paperwork done for you. Starting today, you'll be going to my shop.
Damn, bro.
And it was just like that, yeah. Because the reason why that worked was there was a girl in HVAC, that wanted to be in LSS. And me, vice versa.
Who was that?
I don't remember her name.
Damn.
But.
So you just switched?
Yeah, I definitely talked to her and we both, went to the office together and was like, there's no reason why she turns down. So we went there, there was a whole form process you had to go through that they never tell anybody about. But if you know about it, you know.
Right.
We did that, and I talked to that teacher from HVAC because his son taught HVAC for St. George's, which my brother Corey was in. So that's how he already knew about Corey. He knew about me.
So you had connections.
Yeah, I guess it was connections, but unfortunately, it was not for the right reasons.
You went because of friends, not because of your future.
Of course, I had no idea what HVAC was really about. I didn't even know what the letters stood for at first.
Did you even want to be in LSS?
No, because you had to pick 3 choices, and I just put, I don't remember why, but I put engine first, and then I put HVAC. I don't remember, and then I don't even remember. I guess I just threw in LSS because I was like, if I'm gonna be stuck in something. I want to at least gain something from it. I don't want to just be stuck in something totally useless. And I ended up getting LSS.
Right. Well, thanks. No, I mean, it sucked because, we were the only 2 guys in the shop. And I felt like we had, a good, we were start being friends, We were talking about the Spider-Man game. We were hanging out. We were chilling. And then one day you just fucking vanished. You were gone. And I was like, what the fuck happened to Sam? And I asked our mutual friend, Alejandra. She was like, yeah, he's in my shop now. And I was like, what the fuck happened?
Right, she wasn't there.
What did I do? I thought we were going good. That was honestly...
My bad.
I was hurt.
I had no idea.
That was a hurt piece. I was the only guy left in that shop.
I didn't realize we were the only 2 guys. That's weird how, that all turned out. But, to be fair, I did learn how to play trashketball while I was in HVAC.
Trashketball?
Yeah, we're playing basketball, but instead of a hoop, we use an open trash can, and we're using the teacher's soccer balls because he was a soccer coach. We definitely broke like 3 vents that were running through the ceiling.
That's where I believe we first met each other, in LSS. Obviously, we had known of each other in middle school, but LSS is where we like, your name is Samuel, my name is Diego. And then, of course, the llama happened. We're in Spanish class. I drew a llama, and I was like, hey, here's a llama, buddy. And he said, wow, this shit's kind of good.
It was incredible.
Right. And
especially for such a quick timing, because I definitely saw you be like, check this out, in like 10 seconds, boom, perfection.
Llama. Yeah, llama.
Ballpoint and a pen, like no room for mistakes.
Yeah. I don't do pencil. I don't like erasing mistakes. There is no
Prestigious
mistakes.
with the ballpoint.
In art, there is no mistakes.
Yeah.
And then right after that, I think that was our last interaction until we both started working at GameStop. I think you were there before me. Correct. And then I started, and you were like, I was like, oh, I remember you. Your name's Sam. We had class together in Howard. And you were like, yes.
Yeah, I was really hyped when I saw you walking in. Because I remember before you started working at GameStop, I saw you for the Dragon Ball FighterZ late night. And Allie was with you. I remember standing in line, and I wanted to say hi, but I was like, I don't think... Maybe we're not close enough for me to say hi. Like, I feel like maybe it's too late. We've already gone our separate ways from high school where that connection can't be made. So I didn't say anything. But then you walked into GameStop, and I was like, whoa, he's getting pretty close to the back door for a customer. And I was like, Kaylee was talking to you, and I was like, oh, that'd be pretty cool if you worked here. And you did. And then we had that big meeting, and I got your phone number so we could play like games and shit like that. And that's when you put your last name as Mukadu, and I thought that was your real last name.
That was a fucking shame.
For months, dude, I thought that was your real last name.
Really?
I thought you were being professional and like putting your whole name in
fucking Mukadu.
I mean, I could buy it.
That's a shame. If anybody's last name is Mukadu...
Well, what if it was your last name? I couldn't, like, shit on it right in front of you.
Couldn't be like, yo, is this really your last name?
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, it's named after my father.
My great uncle who fought in the war and saved our family.
Yeah, now I'm an asshole.
Oh, man. Let's talk about Kaylee. She's, honestly...
the best manager I've had.
Such a role model. So I've worked for my own family, and she is still the best manager I've ever had. To the point where I consider her such a part of the friend group, even though we haven't seen her in months. I know that
with COVID and everything.
Of course. But the next time I see her, our friendship, our relationship has not diminished in the slightest.
Especially when we went to the party and stuff like that.
Of course.
And then we were all, getting drunk and stuff like that. It was a good time.
I don't think I'll ever have such a leadership role model as I do with her.
And it's even I appreciated her, but I appreciated her more after working at like Sally Mae and stuff like that.
Really? Oh yeah, because like now you see what it's like to have other management material, and they don't even compare to somebody who really cares.
I had multiple managers at Sally Mae, so it's like it wasn't just the one, and I got unlucky and had a bad one. I went through a couple because there's some at Sally Mae that I love, but Kaylee was so easy to have a conversation with.
You could really bring up concerns to her.
With that, and even in general, like, hey Kaylee, how you doing today? Some managers I've had, it's like, how you doing today? Good. You ready to get to work today? Like, oh, okay.
All right.
Never mind.
You ever had that like weird conversation with a coworker? It wasn't really a conversation as much as it was like a walking into work kind of thing, and you can't just ignore them. Like, hey, good morning, how's it going? And they respond to you with, oh, another day, another dollar, and you're like, that's right, Jim. And you go to your desk and you just shut the fuck up and do your work. Mm-hmm. I fucking hate those conversations, man. Every single day I had one of those, and it was just probably the worst part of my day.
I don't think I really had that much working at Sally Mae. A lot of people there was unique. It was a lot more unique than I thought it would be.
Right.
Especially with, the one lady I became friends with, and other people's, all the stories I've told you. Because they were there just like me. There's people that are 19 years old. There were people that were like in their 60s and 70s. But since we sat all next to each other for so long every day, it was like a little, each side had like their own little friend group. So it wasn't as bland as like most office jobs.
Were you in a friend group or like associated with one, or were you?
Yeah, I had a lot of people there. It was a nice community there. And then, people got moved. I told you all the times, people do some moving under certain managers. And it'd be like teams. This was our team for the month. But teams don't really change that frequently. So we were like a nucleus for a while. Like there was the group that I did the training with. There was like, the rookies, the original go-to team. and then everybody went their separate ways. Some of them you stuck with, not all of them. Like the guy Ben wasn't on his team for much, but like every time we saw each other in the break room, it was
good times.
Old times. But the first month of training when I did that, it was like old times.
All right. So because I drink a lot during these podcasts, obviously they're an hour long. I have to take a restroom break. So because luckily our best friend Tyler over here fucking put on the horse mask. Jesus Christ. I'm going to tap him into the conversation. I'm going to go use the restroom. When I come back, I'm going to tap him out, and I'll be back into the conversation. Sound good?
Yeah, sure.
Just like you and him just have a quick 2-minute conversation. I'll be out of the room.
Absolutely.
I need you to talk to Sam while I go to the bathroom.
What?
I need you to have a conversation with Sam.
You need me to talk to Sam?
Just talk to him real quick while I go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you're going to talk to me for like a couple minutes.
Put the headset down.
Just for 2 minutes, I need you to speak with Sam.
Put the horse mask over there.
I'm going to lead this conversation this time.
You can lead any conversation you want. I'm currently playing Dokkan Battle for my Nintendo DS.
So let me ask you this, Tyler. So how's your day been today?
It's honestly been good. I'm really drunk. Besides that, I had a nice dinner with my family.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
have the quality time.
And, it's been a nice day off. I got a nice day to relax. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I might start working on the website that I've been talking about for like the past week now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But I've noticed ever since we've moved out, being around the family every day. Mm-hmm. It's a lot different once you move out. You're not there every day. You don't eat because when you live at home, every day you eat dinner with your family mostly.
I enjoy every meal I get with my family, whether it's out to eat or whether it's
you come to appreciate it.
Yeah, because it's like I'm with them on my own time. It's
no. I'm back.
Oh, are you done already?
Yeah, I finished my pee.
Oh, that was a really quick pee. But yeah,
me and Tyler had a
real quick.
I'll go get your horse mask. You finish it up.
Okay, yeah. I just enjoy any time I get with my family at this point because I'm not with them all the time. It's kind of like I'm just with you guys all the time. So it's like I don't know. I enjoy any time I get with them. It's kind of like how before I would enjoy any time I get with you guys because it would be like we'd hang out and I don't know, go to the gym
once a week and stuff like that.
Yeah, and do something like that. Now it's kind of like how I am with my family. So now I'm gonna swap back to Diego, and I'm gonna sit in the corner over here.
Tap in, homie.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Of course.
I got it from here.
Just let me know.
My fucking toe.
Please, the profanity.
All right. I also, from what I heard of the conversation, I agree. It's kind of like roles switched, where I used to have one day to the homies, and then the rest of the week I was with my family. Not necessarily trapped, but more like I lived with them. They were my living people. I wake up, I see them. I go to bed, I see them. And now it's kind of like roles have changed where I, if I'm lucky, get to see them once a week. But I see your guys' fucking faces every morning and every night.
Yeah, you're not... Yeah.
It's nothing special. I mean, I enjoy the company here more than I do with my parents.
Just your daily morning coffee.
That's right. I'd like to ask you a question. This is a serious question. I'd like to ask you. I'd like to ask you to answer it seriously. Who will be your, I guess, men of honor? Because you know how brides have brides of honor. What are the men's ones called? Because they have the bridesmaids, groomsmen. Yes. Who will be your groomsmen?
How many do you select, or does it always vary?
I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and say.
Isn't it like a max? It's like 5 max at most, but you can go less if you need to.
I'm gonna be honest. Let me check it up right now. How many do you think you need?
I have no idea, dude. I guess if it's a big wedding, depending on the girl, her family size, because my family size isn't really big, and I would only probably invite select friends, just because the close circle is not as big as the broad spectrum, but no need to invite more people than I need to.
So it looks like there is no cap, but there is usually a usual of 6.
Okay, 6. Okay. Because usually there's 5, and then there's the best man.
Right. You're
A, and then everybody else is I'm sorry, 1, and then 1A.
Right, because there's the maid of honor, and then
the best man.
The best man. That's right.
And then the rest are groomsmen.
Correct. Okay. So I guess my question to you would be, if you had no cap, who would be your groomsmen, and who would be your best man?
I guess going with 6, I would include, you and Tyler.
Okay.
Chris, Jordan.
Right.
What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Khalil.
Right.
And probably Buggy.
Okay.
Just for the childhood aspect, since he was, the first friend, the early childhood.
He was the OG.
Like my first friend. Like he's default.
Understood. That is the friend.
Yeah.
Now, who would be your best man?
See, I'm not sure because for a while it was Khalil.
Right.
I definitely told him it'd be him. And I would still like it for it to be him. But marriage, we don't know how long that could be. And what if I'm at the point where me and Khalil don't even talk to each other at that point?
Right.
But I definitely told him he would be the best man. And we still talk and stuff. We haven't hung out, not nearly, barely, not ever, but we still call each other and we send memes to each other every day. And he still like shows communication through those. It's not me just sending it to a dead account.
Right.
And I don't have any reason to not include him, but you never know what could happen 10 years, 5 years, whatever from now.
Correct.
And I may be subject to change. Because you got to think the best man usually does the public speaking and stuff like that, and some people probably wouldn't want to do that. Like Chris, he could do it, but he'd probably be like, I'll just be a groomsman. He'll probably be fine with that. But Khalil, you or Khalil, you guys are best to be the best public speakers. You always got to tell a story about us. That'd be funny. So you or Khalil, is that role?
Okay. So you think instead of choosing one to be your best man because he has been your best man, you're choosing one that would be the best man, as in like who would perform the best, live up to the expectation of being the best man.
Someone who'd want to be the best man for me.
Right.
Khalil definitely always talks about like, I'm gonna be your best man. Like he wants to do that. He wants to be that hype man because that's what like a hype man. He wants to do that for me.
Right.
But I could see you doing that role. But I don't want to make someone a best man if they don't want to be, because I'm not a whole, this is my friends and then these are my best friend. Here's number one.
You don't really want to put them on a scale of hierarchy, like who is the best?
Not that, but I don't do that anyway. A friend is a friend. There's friends and then there's people you're cool with and then there's associates.
Correct. I feel that.
It's all the same.
Right.
A best man, I don't really.
If you consider somebody a friend, then you know that they would go to a certain length for you.
Yeah, friend is friend.
Correct.
Like, Incredibles type stuff. Yeah.
I think my best man would definitely have to be my older brother Cesar, just because obviously I grew up with him since birth. We had like a rough relationship. Even to this day, we still have a rough relationship. But I know, like deep down, me and him would do whatever it takes for each other. Even if we had to dip our hands into lava to save another, we would. That I couldn't 100% with blood and sweat say to another person or for another person. Like, as much as I would love to say that about you or KJ or Ty, I know that I can't. But for him, I know that he would, and I know that I would. 100% blood oath type of shit. I would make a deal with the devil right now. As far as best men were concerned, dude, I would have like 10. I would have to. There was no way. It would be you. It would be Tyler. It would be Chav. It would be my little brother, of course. It would be Davey. It would be Austin. Chav. Like,
you said Chav, I think, twice.
Oh, damn.
But that's okay.
Everyone who's ever had like such a big impact in my life, like literally changed it from a bad course to the right course, would be my best man. Or not my best man.
See, but you can see the issue I'm having. Like, they're all would be best man, so you can't really have a best man if everybody's
correct. But you have. If I had to choose a best man, it would be my brother.
You say no, I understand that because of the.
And then everybody else who is like just as impactful to my life would have to be groomsmen. And that's just, unfortunately, certain people don't have the right genitalia to be a groomsman. But they would be up there. Damn well KJ would be up there in groomsmen.
Of course.
If I could have her in a suit there, I would put her in a suit there. Groomsmen. Impact. It's great. Now, another subject I like to speak upon once we come across marriage, of course, you have to go across divorce, but before divorce comes children. Do you think you'd be able to have children? Or actually, a better question is, if your wife was not ready to have a child and she was speaking to you about an abortion, would you be okay with them having an abortion?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Now, I mean, I'm saying that now.
Before.
But I know, once someone has a child that, of course they develop this undying love for them.
Correct.
Something that you can only experience once it happens to you. So I may be saying that now from a convenience standpoint. She's not ready to have it. It's a big thing to do, and it'll be hard if only one person really is wanting to be ready for that. So right now I would say yes, but I mean, I don't, maybe once it happens and that's my child, then maybe. But I guess right now, then yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Me too. Honestly, me too. Only because I feel like if you're in a marriage, it's kind of like teamwork where you're both together, and I wouldn't want to have a child unless my significant other was ready to have a child.
It's supposed to be an experience that both of you go through.
Correct.
It shouldn't be only one person is enjoying this process and the other person's just not ready for that, because you want to do this. You want to do this together traditionally.
Mainly because, statistically speaking, families or homes that are children that are raised with both parents have a greater chance to succeed in this world if they have both roles in the household, a mother and a father. A child who has one or the other is not statistically proven to rise to the occasion as somebody who does have both father figure and mother figure. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if I were ever to have a child, it would have to be with the person that I know 100%, this is the girl that I want to raise a child with. This is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. This is the one. 100% sign of approval. That's it. Gotta go. That's not like uncommon too to think like that. So one of the things my mom told me growing up is, she's very precautious when it came to sex, because she didn't want me having a child and like ruining my life at an early age. She's really paranoid about that. Right.
And she was like, I understand that you're at the age now that you can start having sex, and I can't stop you, but I always tell you this: the one rule is, if you do have sex, would you be okay with them being the mother of your child? Like, think about that risk. Not necessarily only do it with people that you'd be okay with having a child, but definitely think about that.
Right.
I guess as a way to like set a bar for my standards, and not in terms of look, like as a person, like, because you don't want to do it with somebody who can't even take care of themselves. And that hit really home, because some of the people that I was either talking with or in a relationship with during that or right before that time, really thought about like, damn, she's kind of right. And you start thinking like, let's say we had a child right now,
right?
What money would we be getting? I'm working, but let's say for the sake of this podcast, the said person, they're not working. So that means not only am I going to be working for myself, for the child, and for the girl, because they're not working. Even then, that's still going to be hard, and you don't want to live like that every day where you're struggling to support all three. Not because times are hard, but because I'm the one doing the work, because the other one can't contribute at all.
Right.
Personality, attitude, you don't want them raising them, and then your child catches their bad tendencies. Becomes like a brat, a bully, or
you don't want them picking up on all the shit that you regretted from that person. Genes.
Correct. Genes. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because I mean, when I realized that, I started nitpicking, I guess.
Right. At
the girls, and not necessarily like I'm like only noticing their flaws, but more of like doing a pros and cons comparison. And it made me realize you were just like, wow, I have a shitty taste in women. Like it was really bad.
Right.
And you would know, because you've known some of the people that you really don't like.
Of course.
And can you imagine that?
I don't think if you had a child with that person that you know that I do not enjoy their company, I don't think I could fucking live with you anymore.
It'd be crazy because I was just thinking about it, and I was like, it's not that they would annoy me or, you know, be just such an uncompatible person, but I would just be really miserable. Especially if it came down to a situation where I'm the one working and supporting it and etc.
I mean, it's such a weird thing to think that, like, if you do not like or love the person that you were with or anything that they had with them. Let's say you hooked up with somebody, right? You didn't even like them, but you did it just out of sheer horniness. You had a child with them because they got pregnant. And there was not a single feature to that person that you enjoyed. And now that person's DNA makes up half of what you just bred. Like, I mean, even to this day, like, I think that my parents got a divorce, right? And my mother and father absolutely hate each other. You know, they'll grow up and, you know, tuck their shit in and, you know, have conversations with one another if there's a problem with me or my other blood relative, which is my brother. But to this day, it's kind of like, damn, if you hate that person so much, do you ever think that, like, half of me is them? And do you ever see the flaws that you hated to them in me? You ever think about that?
Yeah, people definitely do that. I mean, you see that a lot in, like, movies and stuff as well. Like, you know, where the child gets beat, because let's say, let's say they have a daughter that looks a lot like their mom, and
the person absolutely hates the mom.
The mom, yeah. So just looking at her just infuriates it.
Especially if they're a drunkard, you know. You get drunk, you look at the daughter, and I fucking hate the mom, you know, this and that. You look exactly like her. Pow! Shit like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Shit pops off.
I mean, some people just ignore it because, you know, think a little bit more logically and,
right. And that's
depend less on emotional.
And that's why households that grow up with both mother and father, the child is more likely to succeed in life. Just because of the fact that they don't have to come across those issues of, I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad. You know, they don't have most of the abuse that comes with not having a mother or father, you know, half of the income, shit like that. Which is why it's so scary to finally have a child and to look at the person that you're having a child with and be like, is this really it? Is this the one? Which really terrifies, because I want to have children, of course. I want to have a child before I'm 25.
Really?
Yes. Because if I wait until I'm 30 or above, by the time that my child is my age, I'm going to be 50.
Okay.
50's old, dude. Do you really want to be 50 when your child is 20? Like, when they're about to hit the bars up, you fucking got a cane on you, homie.
You don't have a cane at 50 years
Come
old.
on.
Unless you have some underlying, like, a handicap or anything. But 50, that's...
But you're old. You're old at 50. That's
50, you can still go to the bar.
That's the line.
I mean, you're...
No. 50's the line. 45 is kicking it. 50 is the line.
That is not true.
Come on.
The lady at Deer Park Tavern is in her 90s.
That's not true.
I'm dead serious.
The girl that served us?
No. She wasn't 90 years old.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
There was a lady there that drinks that's 90 years old. Like, in her 90s. I don't even know the exact age. Buggy calls her. She's like the queen of Deer Park because she's been there for the last 60 years.
Damn.
Yeah. So there's people in there that are in their 40s or 50s.
So you would be okay being 50 and having your child at 20?
I don't know how I feel. I mean, yeah.
But that's the logic. That's the logic that I'm behind. I want to have a child before, or at least at 25, so that by the time they're 20, I'm 45. I'm still low-key kind of hip, down with it. I could totally dig it. Whatever the next generation has for us in line, I'm down. But at 50, dude.
I just don't want to have a child too early because then, let's be honest, a lot of freedoms you have in your life are now gone to a degree. That's one of probably the biggest thing I've been leaning on was having a child later and doing as much as I possibly can now, so that way, you know, as you're older, some things you just can't do anymore, and it's like, all right, I'll have the kid now. It's not like I was gonna do those things anyway, really much anymore now, but
what if you get so old that you can't do certain things with your child to the point where they have to do it without you? So, for example, I have a younger brother, and his parents, which are my mother and stepfather, are just about, I'm not going to say a direct age because I don't remember right now, but I'm going to say early 40s, maybe late 30s. No, definitely early 40s.
Who, your stepfather?
My stepfather and my mother.
Okay.
Wonderful people. Luckily, they're still agile and healthy enough to be able to do certain things with him while he's still at 12 years old right now. But at a certain age, if they didn't have them when they did, he could be 12, they could be 50 or 60. Because remember, I'm 21. I'm 21 and he's 12. Mm-hmm. So it's quite an age gap. But at a certain age, let's say you have a child, right? And let's say you get at the 50 or 60 mark and he's 10 or 11. You cannot do shit with that child. Nothing. Whether it's Disney Park amusement ride, the lakes in Cancun, the fucking rivers in Florida, whatever it is, there are certain, you're limited now.
You mean in terms of like handicapping?
Correct.
Okay, so if I age enough where I can't physically
have fun with your child,
these activities.
Correct.
Like
yes.
Can't swim
with your child. You can't go on a roller coaster with him.
My blood pressure, that's too much.
Right. So now I'm saying to the point where like your child cannot have fun because you are old.
Well, so having probably a child in early 30s, late 20s, 28, 29, 30 to 32, that would be a good age for me. It's not too late. You'd be young 50s. I work out, physically active, so
right.
I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll ever stop working out anytime soon because I like to be able to move and not have issues, physically. So I feel like I'd still be able to function, especially 50s. I might be perfectly fine going to roller coasters. I don't think that would be an issue, especially for me. That's one of the things actually I think about when I work out is I want to still actually want to do things when I get older. I don't want to be somebody that's like 50 in a wheelchair.
So you want to take care of your body now, so it's still there for you later on.
I'm trying to make my body last longer. I'm making my youth last longer, I guess, in a way. Because some people, once your youth is over, they say that's it. You just sit around and wait to die.
Right.
But if I make the youth last longer, stay in shape, you're milking the cow as much as you can to an extent.
Correct.
So in that department, I feel like I'd be alright. Late 20s, early 30s. I definitely don't want to have it by 20. I mean, if I don't have a child by 25, I'd be perfectly fine with that. And I don't intend to go out of my way to make a child before 25. Barring these next 4 years is a roller coaster of stuff that happens. I'm just not...
You're not in a rush.
Yeah. If I don't have it soon, it's like...
Would you be okay with never having a child?
I don't know. I've thought about that, but it's one of those things where it's like... really think about it. Like, you won't know until like later after you haven't had the child. Like, damn, maybe I should have had a child. I don't really got anything because who's gonna take care of you?
Right.
Because my brothers and sisters, my brother and 2 brothers and sisters, they have children. Maybe I'll be that cool uncle, but that's relying on luck and hoping that it turns out like that or something,
Right.
Or I could just be that guy that just nobody talks to at the family function, really.
My goal is to be the drunk uncle. Because our family, my current family right now, on my mother's side, who I consider my immediate family, because I love them so much, we don't have a drunk uncle. We are in the need of one. I am willing to apply for that role. So every Christmas, we go to the Poconos, and as a family, all 20-something of us stay there for 3 days and just enjoy ourselves. Go to a water park, an indoor water park that's nearby. We go sledding, we go snowboarding, skiing, whatever. And just enjoy ourselves as a family. 3-day break, Christmas, no work, nothing. Just enjoy ourselves. I am absolutely drunk off of my fucking ass all 72 hours. From the moment that we get there to the moment that we leave, I am drunk. The entire time. Not because I'm enjoying myself, not because I want to be drunk, but because I'm willing to make that sacrifice for our family. That we need a drunk uncle.
And it's very considerate of you.
Yes, very, very much.
It's a great
so.
risk that you're taking.
I could die. I could die.
Of course, and nobody thinks about that.
Yeah, nobody thinks about...
Nobody
right.
gives you the credit.
But I wonder, I don't know how that's going to change when I have children.
I mean, you could still be the drunk father. Sit on
At Christmas?
You don't have that one recliner that's yours. Like, nobody sits in...
This is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
This
get
is
drunk,
my
and you
fucking
sit there,
recliner.
and you're there while everybody's celebrating. You probably don't know what's going on, but you're just in the recliner. Everybody knows you're in the recliner. If they're looking for you, he's in the recliner.
You ever think about, are you grateful that your parents beat you? I'm sorry, did your parents ever beat you?
Not beat like in an illegal way, but like I've definitely sustained injuries.
Did you shed blood?
Yeah, but it wasn't on
Damn.
purpose. It was actually an accident.
What the fuck?
Yeah, not like blood like dripping, but like one of my punishments is like my mom would tell me to just go. It was called go put your face in the wall. When you just stand in the corner and look at the wall. Don't.
So more like mental abuse kind of thing?
No, but one time like she like helped assist me to the wall, and, like in a smart ass way. Like, you know what? Go put your face in the wall for saying that smart shit. Grabbed me by like the back of the neck or the head and like guided me to the wall. But like she accidentally slammed my face into the wall. Like boom.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. We're on two completely different pages right now. Did your parents ever, with a coat hanger or a belt, beat you?
A wooden spoon, a spatula.
Okay, yeah, I count that. Yeah,
a belt.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think you're a better person today because of that?
I have no idea, dude. I mean, my parents are strict. I mean, are you asking?
Are you grateful that they
was
did
I tamed enough to follow the rules? And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm glad they did that because.
Right, because
I mean, I'm glad I followed the rules. I mean, I'm not saying necessarily like, yeah, thank God they beat my ass.
Because don't get me wrong, there are a lot of children out there who never had to be beat and never will need to be. For example, my little brother, the most peaceful fucking kid, bro. This man's a pacifist.
Like Peyton.
At the age of 12, correct?
Peyton doesn't do anything.
They don't need to be beat. They're just like automatically tamed. But at this age, I look back and I really think, because I look at kids in the mall, little children in GameStop.
Little gremlins.
And what I would fucking give to just beat the shit out of it, because I know their parents don't put a hand on them. Mm-hmm. And they're out here stomping and screaming and, I want this fucking game right now, Mom! Get your fucking wallet and buy this shit! It's like, bro, I would strangle you like fucking Homer on the fucking Bart. Like, just, and it just like, I get like PTSD flashbacks of when my parents would hit me, and I'm like, damn. I am so fucking happy that they did, because I can't even imagine what this kid is going to turn into because his parents never beat him. Because he never actually learned his lesson. They just go, no, Jimmy, don't do that. Put that back. And it's like, bro, my mom would look at me and she's like, do you want to go to the bathroom? I was fucking terrified of the bathroom. Because that's the only place.
That's scary. I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, you go in there.
That's a bad place.
You're lucky if you come out.
And you know my mom's like really strict.
Right.
Like
my dad was worse. He would hit me in public.
My dad would too.
Yeah,
he just
it got to the point where
together.
He would give me the look, which is just like, and I would be all right, I'll chill, relax, don't look at me like that.
Nah, my dad was more like spontaneous. He just like, yo,
out of nowhere,
cut that shit out. Like, there was no hints. It was just he'd be like, come on, man, stop pissing me off. I'm like, oh, my bad, Dad.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
All right.
No, but I definitely thank my parents that they hit. I'm sorry, were you listening?
I took off my headphones for a second. All I heard was you talking about beating kids at a GameStop.
Yeah, we're having a very civil discussion right now. It's actually very progressive.
The video I was watching got very silent for a second. All I heard was I beat the shit out of a kid at a GameStop. I was like,
of course, dude.
It was really bad.
And you know what's funny?
What the
and not to be racist, it's always white kids. It is always white kids, but because for some reason, white parents will never put their hands on their children. Whether it's because they're scared of getting fucking child services called on them, but any other colored family,
I had child services called on my family.
Yeah, they will draw
about
blood.
Me, and we never found out who did it.
I guess not interject. Can I throw in my?
Of course.
So my mom never really hit me. My mom smacked me on the mouth once. My mom smacked me on the mouth once, and that was it for me, right? But after that, my mom never threatened to beat me because, like, that was really just it. She would always just, like, threaten to, like, ground me, and that normally did it.
Right.
So after that, it was normally my dad who would, like, threaten to hit me, and that's when I would be, like, scared because I was like, oh, shit. If my mom wanted to hit me, that's bad, but if my dad wanted to hit me, oh, fuck.
Oh, dude, he's got a backhand like Zeus.
Which, like, my mom's the white person. My dad is not white.
Right.
So, it's
so
like,
he knows how to hit.
Yeah, my dad knows how to beat the shit out of me. My mom would just smack me, like, backhand me. I'd be like, oh, shit.
You know, one of the scariest things about, like, the parenting stuff is that, like, you know, my mom is usually the initiative one. My dad, so he didn't have a father growing up, so he doesn't, one of the things, like, you know, my mom would tell me is, like, you know, your dad's never had a father, so he doesn't actually, you know, have an example of how to be a father.
Right.
I'm not saying he doesn't parent well. His tactics are different, you know, because, you know, me and him, we have, like, that kind of, like, silent mutual relationship. Like, we talk, we don't really have, like, emotional discussions, straight to the point. You know, how you doing? You doing all right? Yeah, I'm doing good. But it's not like we were awkward. Like, I understood he doesn't like talking. He knows I don't like really talking. So it's quick and sweet. My mom does all the crazy parenting stuff, the punishments, the, you know, the chore, you know, directing everything. My dad was just, he was there for backup. If somebody was falling out of line, he'd get home from work and beat your ass. That was like...
Right. It wasn't like, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to wait till your dad gets home.
He gets mad because my mom would get on him, and then that would be his anger. Like, come on, guys. Now your mom's mad at me. Now I got to beat the shit out of you.
So he wasn't mad at you. He was mad that you made your mom mad.
Yeah, so he's like, don't, like, not get in trouble. Just don't piss mom off.
Yeah, don't rile her
Because then she gets pissed off at me. Now I'm in a bad mood when I get home from work, and I got to take it out on you when I'm beating the shit out of you. But the scariest thing was with Linda.
Linda?
Exactly. Aunt Linda is so nice. She never, like, is mean to anybody. So nice, like, unconditionally. And sometimes, you know, as a kid, I would annoy her, and she'd be like, you know, Sam, cut that out. That's stupid.
Right.
And I actually was a little bit of a troublemaker living with her, because she wasn't as strict as my mom, so there was multiple stories of her carrying me out of, like, Toys R Us crying because I wanted something.
Damn.
But my mom cleaned that up really quick, like, especially my eating habits. I would only eat chicken nuggets. Then my mom came in and was like, you're gonna eat this. And now I eat everything. But the scariest thing is, I never knew Linda was mad. I've never seen her in that state of emotion.
Right.
Until the first time when I had to start taking medicine a lot as a kid. And I wouldn't take it. And I just think that one day, she really just was not feeling it. Was not feeling like being nice today. And she got angry. And it was the most scariest things I've seen in the wall. Because she just slammed the wall and was like, God damn it, Sam. She said Sam. That's my dad's name. They call me Sammy when I was a kid. And I was like, I just stood there quiet. I was like, oh shit, dude. I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, my bad, bro. Let me get that medicine.
I'm gonna, thank you.
Yeah. That's
And I've never done it. Like, she'll get mad, like, annoyed, but not, like, mad, pissed off. Like, if I annoy her, you just get agitated. That's different than just being angry at somebody. And I've never seen her do it ever since then. I've never pissed her off. Ever since. I've only seen it once, and I only want to see it that one time. I never want to see it again. My mom has been livid where, you know, she would grab my face, you know, she smacked me. We've been screaming in the house, having these crazy arguments. But I've never been in an argument with Linda. I've never, like, lashed back at her. And
no, I could see that, definitely. Because if that's your, like, parental figure, and that's the one part, like your role model, for example, and you see their dark side, they're like, damn, I brought that out. I did this. Never again will I initiate this conflict.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I don't like the fact that I did this. Like, if this was, like, a Steelers game.
And I have, like, cringe. You ever, like, think about, like, you're in bed awake, just laying there, and you think about shit you've done in the past, and you think about those cringe moments? That's, like, in there, not because it was, like, cringe, but it was like, ooh, I don't like thinking about that. It makes you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
So it gives you a cringe feeling, even though it's not cringe.
I think the only thing that brings that up for me, there's only one repressed memory that I have that's kind of like, it's fucked up, because it's weird that, like, the only time that my parents beat, and it wasn't even me, it was my brother. So what happened was he came home from kindergarten one day. He made a really nice painting. It was, for him at least, he was really proud of it. It was like a sunflower or whatever.
Dope.
Right, it was dope as shit to him because he made it in kindergarten. He was so proud. He came home and he showed my dad. I was like, Dad, look what I made. This is so cool. But he was taking a nap. Back then, my parents, we were basically dirt poor, so they were working really fucking hard. And whenever they were sleeping, it wasn't because they wanted to; it's because they had to. That was their time of rest. So my brother, so excited about his painting, came into my dad's room, showed him the painting, was like, hey, and he was sleeping. He was like, hey, look at this painting. Dad, wake up. Look what I made today in class. And my dad, in his, I don't know how many hours of sleep he didn't get, but he wasn't himself. He got so pissed off that his fucking son woke him up to show him a shitty macaroni grill glue fucking shit. Whatever it was, he woke up, grabbed the belt, and fucking whipped my brother. But here was the worst part. He hit him with the metal part of the belt.
Ooh.
And when my mom found out, bro, I can swear to God, they never confirmed it, but I swear that was one of the things that made them get the divorce.
Where did it hit him?
In the face. In the face. With the metal part. It was bad.
Left a mark, didn't it?
It definitely left a mark. I wasn't old enough to remember what happened. This is just stories from my mom and father.
Yeah.
But it was bad. That was the only thing that I can remember that was that was not justified. That wasn't cool. Even my own father would, to this day, would say that was me. That was on me. It was a bad day. I was a bad dad that day.
But was it? It wasn't on purpose. He just
no,
grabbed the
it
belt
wasn't on purpose. It wasn't on anybody's fault necessarily. But even to this day, that's something that you can look back at and be like, damn, that day should have never happened. And of course, even if I was in that situation, I don't think I would have acted the same, but I don't think I would have acted any better. I feel like if I wasn't to physically hurt my child, I might have even done worse and mentally hurt him. Maybe even said some shit like, get the fuck out of my room. I don't give a shit what you made today. I'm trying to fucking sleep. That's a lot worse than hitting him with the metal part of the belt, But regardless, I don't think I would have handled it any better. But it was still not cool, Aside from that, I think as a father, I would be pretty cool. Because I think I learned a lot from my mom as far as how to be a parent. Because she's been a really good mother. I can't say anything about her. There's not a single thing in this world that she's done wrong. I love her to death. As a parent, she's been nothing but 100% the best. My father, on the other hand, taught me more than my mother ever could about being a man. Having a job, being able to grow up, having responsibility, saving your money. He wasn't necessarily the best father figure in the world, but he showed me things that I can never say will not carry me throughout the rest of this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
That I could not have grown into the man that I will be without those things that he's shown me. So I can't say in any way that he was a bad father, because he was a great mentor. But my mom, I don't think she ever showed me those things because she was such a great parent. She showed nothing but love, and that's what I learned from her. So hopefully when I'm a father, I can give my child the best of both worlds, like Hannah Montana, and be able to give them both. And if not, at least give them one or the other, which are both.
As much as you can.
Right,
and then that's why you have that other partner who can help.
Give them what they can.
Thus, bringing back people having both parents.
Of course. And the best part is that my parents, I did not have both parents in the same household. But my parents were so mature to the point where they could be like, all right, here's what we're going to do, what's best for our children and ourselves. And my father got weekends, my mother got weekdays. And even to this day, I look back and I wouldn't have had it any other way. I wouldn't have wanted my parents both in the household because they would have been unhappy, which means I would have been unhappy. In their best ways, my mother was happy, my father was happy, and I was happy with them alongside. I was happy to have weekends with my father because I would know that every single time I'd have Seasons Pizza and a movie lined up. I love having weeks with my mom because she was just a great parent. I love her regardless. She would have perfect meals, clean the dishes, clean our room, whatever. She would never get sad or complain about us being at her father's weekend. It almost felt like a normal childhood. Whenever I listened to other people having both father figure and mother figure in the home at the same time, I never got jealous. Or I was never like, oh man, I wish I had that. Because I basically did. I never felt like I was missing out on a childhood or on a parent.
Mm-hmm.
which was great. That's all I could have ever asked for. So as parents, I could not have possibly have asked for more than what I got, which at this point is a privilege, which not a lot of people have, because a lot of people grow up without a father, or with a horrible father, or with a horrible mother, or no mother, you know. And a lot of times people take that for granted. And it's very important that you don't, because if you don't grow up with one or the other, or a bad version of either or, you are instantly have less of a lead than other people do who have a loving mother and father.
Yeah, and I mean, that was almost me with, you know, my biological mother, because my dad was incarcerated around the time that I was, I think a little bit right after I was born. My dad was incarcerated. And my biological mother, who I don't know, was giving me up. She couldn't raise me. I don't know if she probably just didn't want to, but I mean, I doubt she probably could have, financially, physically. You know, with constant drug abuse. She was a junkie, so, you know, I'm a crack baby. But that's when, you know, Linda took me in, because, you know, my dad took care of me. He wasn't here. And, you know, his mother isn't, you know, the best motherly figure ever. You know, he didn't grow up with a dad, and my family's small, so it wasn't like, who else was there?
Right.
That was it. Like, you know, my great uncle, or I guess my dad's uncles and stuff. Nobody wanted to take care of the kid. That's his mistake. You know. The mother's side will figure out.
The father's in jail, and the mother doesn't want him. Baby's in the
So
air.
that's, you know, where Linda comes in. You know, Linda, and I grew up with her till I was about 6 or 7, and then even after my dad was, you know, out, you know, he found, you know, my current mom today. You know, they got married and stuff like that, and, you know, met Corey, her son. You know, became my new stepbrother. Even then, I would still have like a whole, what's the word, custody. I would still be with Linda, so it would be like half Linda. Actually, it'd be like half Linda, and then half my mom and dad, and then it slowly leaned towards the other side of the scale, where I was with my parents full time, and Linda would be like any relative you'd see whenever holidays, or, you know, whenever you want to hang out or stuff like that. But I mean, who knows? I could have. How crazy that trajectory would have been without Linda. I would probably have been like an orphan, or maybe somebody on my biological mom's side did take me and was another junkie that I grew up with, and now that's a different Sam now. That's one of those kids you'll see in GameStop going crazy, saying, "No, you don't know what you're talking about. I know the game's there.
You don't fucking get it,
Looking for the Fortnite. Where is it?
I want to buy Fortnite." Oh man, no, it's definitely crazy to think that, like, if you were raised differently, or I don't know what I would be like if my parents didn't beat me, or if I wasn't raised by my parents, raised by somebody else. Because I do like to think that my parents gave me the building blocks to be who I am today. That if I was raised by a different family, a different set of people, even if I was raised only by my father and not by my mother, I wouldn't be the same person that I am today. That once you have these role models to look up to, these father figures, mother figures, you look at them and you're like, damn, I want to be like them. Even if it hits you at the age 12, 7, 20, whatever, you know. Even to this day, I look at my parents, they were dirt poor. They didn't have anything. They both came here, and you know how they met each other? At a restaurant. They were both waiters and waitresses.
Yeah, I think you told me about that.
Right.
Yeah.
And now my father owns his own business, has done successfully well, has won the best Mexican restaurant in 2 years in a row. My mother owns a stonework company who has nothing but business on top of business. At the Christiana Mall, they covered an entire wall. That was $500,000.
Oh, nice, really?
Yeah, and it's hilarious. I laugh at the people in their face when they tell me that the American dream is not true. It's not obtainable. It's not real. Because I have physical proof of both of my parents obtaining the American dream.
It's not even moderate success. It's wealthy
insane. Correct.
Success. Like,
they're wealthy. They came to this country with absolutely nothing, and they made a name for themselves. And you can see in their siblings who did and who didn't. And you can see because they did and they did not have that motivation to become wealthy. That's all you need. As long as you have that star in the sky saying, hey, this is America, you can really make a name for yourself. you can do it. Because there was a point my mother would work 3 jobs. You never intake this as a child, where you're like, hey, my mom's working 3 jobs. She's never at home. She barely gets any sleep. You don't see that as a kid. You come home, your mom makes you lunch, she makes you dinner, you go to sleep. You don't see all the shit that they go through. But now as an adult, you look back and you're grateful for everything that they did, because now at this age where they're at, they can be comfortable. And my goal in life, where I'm at right now, is to get wealthy enough so that when they get old, they don't have to worry about being old, not being able to pay rent or anything. I want to be so rich that they can be rich in effectiveness because of my richness. That is my goal. Because of what they did for me, and now that I'm old enough to see all the shit that they went through to get to where they are, so that they could give me what I got. I would be flabbergasted if I could not give them their own mansion with their own caretakers, fucking feeding them caviar every morning, you know?
It's like returning the favor, you know?
Correct.
They took care of you, got everything,
I can't do that for them,
yeah.
why the hell am I here right now, you know? Like, it's insane that they came in here with dirt in their pockets. We ate cereal for lunch and dinner, and now, like, that's why it really upsets me to think that my brother is still working at that restaurant, because he's not really making something for himself as much as he is taking over what my father made for himself. You know, I want to be able to, at least in my vision, I want to be able to do what I can for them and show them that their hard work wasn't wasted on me. That not only can I have a head start that they didn't have, but be able to get even wealthier than they did because they gave me that head start. Dude, if I was born in Mexico with nothing to eat but fucking scorpions and Mexican dirt, I don't know who the fuck I would be. I'd probably be selling tortillas on the sidewalk. When I was in Cancun the other day, there was a 4-year-old trying to sell me a necklace, and he works for his mom. That could have been me. I could have been in Mexican, like, fucking metal sheds made out of sheets, and it's crazy over there, man.
Did you buy the necklace?
I didn't. I didn't buy the necklace, and I don't regret it.
Why not? It's okay.
It wasn't a nice necklace.
Okay. That's
not.
I was waiting for you to say that. I just wanted to know the truth. That was
not,
really the reason, or
that was the reason.
Okay.
It did not appeal to me.
Understandable.
But at the same time, it's like, I mean, just looking at it, like every single step and decision that your parents have made, and my parents have made, anybody's parents have made, really influenced your life as a child, leading up, kind of molded you like Play-Doh to what you are today. Obviously, you're your own person. But the edges, the small details, you know, the little finite shit that happens in your life that really branches out the rest of your personality and how you look at life, saving money, being able to pay bills on time, shit like that. That's what really matters, you know? And thinking now as to our parents, how mine is drastically different than yours, whether or not they helped out, whatever father figure you had, role model you had, will forever determine the rest of your life. Because if you grow up with no parents, or the shittiest parents in the world, without a doubt, you will grow up to be a shitty person, or the shittiest person in the world.
Like a domino effect.
Of course, because that's all that you learn. That's all the knowledge that you will have. Obviously, there's people out here that are smart enough to make their own route, to say, hey, this is what my parents did. I'm not gonna do that. And that's the smartest role that you can take. And for tonight, that's the podcast. We've reached our time limit. But I loved the conversation that we had tonight.
This was good. I really enjoyed it as well. I'm glad you had me here today.
Of course. And hopefully I can have you again later on once I've had one-on-ones with a lot of other people. I want to be able to get deep and, you know, reach into people's souls. That's what I like to do. That's what I did on the last episode, and that's what I love that we did today. So thank you for coming on and being okay with being on the podcast.
Of course.
And thanks, of course, for living with me and having to have this conversation.
Yeah. Thank you, Tyler, for having me. Diego, of course.
Yeah. And this was a great conversation.
It was.
And I hope to see you guys again on the next one. Bye-bye. That's it, buddy.
That's it?
That's it.
It's done?
It's done.
You can
stop it.
I can hit the stop button?
You can hit the stop button.
Did you do the outro?
We did. Yeah, we did the outro.
What was the outro?
Just said good night.
That's it. That's literally it. You said good night.
I gotta go pee.
Oh my god. All right. Good night, guys.
Fuck you.
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 Good night, guys.